Hi, I'm Pat Brown, a comedian and Walking Dead fan. If you're a Walking Dead fan, of course you saw this week's episode of The Walking Dead. It was the mid-season finale, so it was a lot going on. It was a really good episode. This is the first time I felt really hopeful that Rick and crew would actually survive this situation that they got themselves in with Negan. There was some old school zombie fighting in this episode. If you were an overweight person in this episode, you didn't fare so well. I don't know why they were getting rid of all the bigger people on this episode, but if you weren't height weight appropriate, you were out of there. I have no idea. It's not me, it's them. Every time you watch The Walking Dead, there are always lessons to be learned, so stay right there as I count down this week's episode of The Walking Dead. Pew, pew, pew. Ow, ow, ow. I ain't even that big. Stick with the devil that you know. Stick with the devil that you know. Spencer, of all people, is trying to use his charm and good looks to persuade Negan to betray Rick. Look, Rick, you know. Rick has not been very nice to you. We get it. He's verbally abused you. He's threatened to knock your teeth out. You're pretty much living life as an abused wife. We get it, Spencer. But he hasn't hit you yet. He hasn't hit you. You know, there's a battered women looking at you like, yo, son, he ain't hit you yet? He ain't hit you yet. He give you one of these, you do that, but he ain't hit you. Shut your punk ass up. You got it good, Spencer. You don't even realize it. Negan, on the other hand, is a murderer. That is not a rumor. He is a murderer. That's what he does. If he had a tattoo on his face of a teardrop every time he murdered, he would need a whole nother face. That's how much he murdered. Just little circles all over his face. His face would look like a bubble bath. He would actually frustrate a tattoo artist. Like, yo, man, enough with all the teardrops, son. Enough with all the teardrops. I'm thinking like a ladybug or a butterfly. What about a little heart with your mom's name in it? You murdered her? Understandable. Learn from your mistakes. You gotta learn from your mistakes. Daryl was the epitome of this in this week's episode. Remember when Daryl and Dwight met up in the woods and Daryl didn't kill Dwight? He wasn't going to allow that to happen upon his escape. He was sitting in that strange man's room wearing that strange man's clothes, eating that strange man's peanut butter and contemplating, like, the hell did I get myself into this? Oh, I should have killed Dwight. So all that pent up anger and been in that pen for as long as he was not going to make that mistake again. He came across Fat Joe and beat it. He beat the hell out of Fat Joe. Beat it! Beat it! I know Michael Jackson meant this as a non-violent song, but not in this case. Beat it means to hit something repeatedly, and that's what Daryl did in this episode. He beat it like a 14-year-old boy home alone with a container of Costco lotion. Costco, the big one. Why they always have to show the fat dude eating something? I hope his last snack was a Snickers because, of course, Snickers really satisfies. And if you're going to go that long walk home, I'm hoping that you are full. Learn how to swim. Learn how to swim. Learning how to swim is just a basic skill set that you have to go through the world knowing. It's just like learning how to drive a car. It doesn't matter if you have a car. You should just have the skill set just in case. It's the worst thing ever. If you ever been driving with somebody and you realize midway through this road trip, they do not know how to drive. What? Are you kidding me? You think somehow the fact that you're manning the radio and you put my sandwich in my lap and putting ketchup on my fries somehow makes up for the fact that I have to drive 7 hours to Reno? You are useless. You're freaking useless. You don't get to enjoy things like a pool party. You can go to the pool party, but you'll never have a good time. You all flinchy and anxious, like you got drugs on you and everybody else is a DEA drug-sniffing German Shepherd. Aaron didn't know how to swim, the outcome would have been totally different when the zombie pulled him into the dirty lake. What happened to Aaron? Did the zombies get him? No. He died because he never finished the YMCA beginner level swim class. He's a dumbass. And he can't drive. Thank you for watching this week's lessons from The Walking Dead. If you like this week's episode, like this week's episode, and please subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.